Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to bring you another Market Place Makeover. Okay, so we got this on Market Place. We've had it for several months. It's been sitting in our garage for quite some time. Last year we started a project in our half bathroom and we started flipping the half bath. And what we wanted to do, it currently has a pedestal sink in there, and what we wanted to do is try flipping a dresser and making that into a bathroom sink. So that's when we went to Marketplace and we found this really cute antique dresser. We love the lines, we love the drawers, it has the hardware, it has the keyholes, we like the lines of the mirror here, but
it's all painted.
It is all painted, which would be fine, but someone painted this with a chalk paint and it's really, really thick and you can see all the brush strokes.
Right, so there's a lot of lines, paint lines that were left on it, so it wasn't done properly, but like you said, we love the look of it and we thought it would be great to use as a sink in our half bath. So that's what we're going to do in this video. It's probably going to take a little while to do it, so it might be a couple-parter.
Yes. It's
One, two, three, yep, three-part video or something like that. But what we're going to show you today and right now is how to get all this stuff off, right?
And what products we use to do that.
Yeah, so when you buy something, you might think it's daunting and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, it's going to take a lot of time. But what you're going to find out with this stuff here is it's actually pretty easy. You take it, you brush it on, you let it sit, go have a glass of wine, have some beer, whatever, come back out, and you can literally, you know, within 30 minutes you can be scraping this stuff off. So that's what we're going to do. This stuff is called Citrus Strip. It's got a great citrus scent to it, so it's not a heavily chemical smell to it. And like I said, all you got to do is just take some, you brush it on there.
Nice thick coating and then leave it for 30 minutes. And this stuff actually goes pretty far. We bought a small bottle of it to do some horrible stripping, and we hardly use any. I mean, we have taken a sander, we've taken a sander to painted projects like this, and it takes forever to sand it off. So then we were just like, we need to get a stripper, need to get some sort of paint stripper, but all we knew about at the time, and this was a few years ago, was like the really harsh smelling, chemical smell strippers, and we just never wanted to go near those. So Chris went to one of the big box stores and actually found this and brought it home, and it's great. There is zero smell. It smells like oranges, citrus.
No, it's good because, like you said, with if you use a sander on something like this, especially when there's layers and layers of paint on something, you're just going to gunk up your sandpaper, and you're going to go through a stack of sandpaper really fast. And if you don't have an orbital sander, that makes it even worse, and you're going to sit there and you're going to end up with arms like Arnold Schwarzenegger when you're done.
You're going to look like Popeye.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through stacks of sandpaper, which, you know, a stack of sandpaper for an orbital sander can run you about 20 bucks for a stack. But this whole big bottle was $20, and we'll probably not even go through half of it.
Yeah, and it's really good also with things that have like these little scrolls in them.
Is it filigree?
Yeah, so if you have like these little cracks and crevices and in here through the mirror, you can't see it, but we'll grab the camera and show you a little close-up of it. But those things would be so hard to get with a sander. So,
yeah,
that's why this gel stuff is going to work good. So that's what we're going to do. How are we going to finish this one? Once we get all this stripped off, and what's your ultimate goal or the look for it?
I already took a little bit, like when we first got this, I had to just try the citrus strip on it to see if I could get into the filigrees and stuff like that. So I started doing it right here. This is just 30 minutes of work right there. Just letting it sit, and then I came up back and scraped it. And what I'm really looking for is this color. I don't mind if some of the white stays on, to kind of give it that like chippy, old chippy look. But that's my overall goal, is to keep it in this natural wood color. And with, even if we do have some of the white on here looking chippy and stuff like that, like I love this part right here. That's fine with me.
Cool.
And then after we're done stripping it, we'll move on to, because we're putting a sink on top, we're gonna recess a sink slightly in here, and we're gonna have to take out the drawers and kind of cut into the drawers for all the piping and stuff, so that'll be in another episode. So let's give you a close-up of this dresser.
Alright, so we got everything taken apart now into the sections, and we're getting ready to start applying the citrus strip. So this is what you're going to need. Obviously you'll need your citrus strip here, a bucket to put the stripper into, any kind of cheapo brushes. I wouldn't recommend using your nice brushes that you use for painting. A lot of times little cheapo dollar ones that you get.
The chip brushes?
Chip brushes, those will work just fine. And you'll also need some gloves, fancy gloves, preferably pink for you.
Purple for you.
Purple for me, and eye protection. While this stuff doesn't have a big strong chemical smell, it's obviously used to strip off paint, and you don't want to get any in your eyes if it splashes by accident, and then you don't want to get any on your hands because you could potentially get a little irritated on your skin. So this is what we need, and then we're going to start applying it. So here we go. When you're getting this on, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just kind of glop it on there. Try not to leave big heavy spots, but it doesn't have to look pretty. Just got to get on there. And sometimes if you have really, if you have a piece that's been painted over 3 or 4 times, you might have to do 2 coats of this. We don't think we'll have to on this one. We think 1 coat will do, but you never know with your piece what you might find underneath. So be prepared to do 1 or 2 coats and see how it looks. So another good thing with this citrus strip stuff is it's very thick, like a viscous texture to it. So it's good when you're doing vertical surfaces as well. It's not going to be runny and drippy and get everywhere. So when you put it on, it actually holds and stays in one place. So it's another good reason why we like to use this stuff. You don't have to worry too much about the drippiness or the runniness of some other type of chemical-y strippers.
Alright, let me do a little close-up of it. Okay, so now we have all the stripper on all the pieces, and I just want to show you, it's only been probably about 10 minutes. Took us about 10 minutes to put it on. And I want to show you already what it's doing. That's like 10 minutes of this stuff just sitting here, and it's already just taking up that paint, and this paint is so thick. So we let it sit a little bit longer. I bet you we can go right here with our scrape tool and just like take up almost all of that.
So now we're gonna go inside and wait. Grab some wine, have a beer or something like that, and let this sit. Let it get its full effect going on, then we'll come back out and scrape it. But in the meantime, you want to make sure that you take your brushes and wash them up. If you're using the throwaway ones, it's not really a problem, but we use these brushes for a lot of things, and we don't want to have to go buy new ones. So soap and water should clean this stuff up pretty good. So we're going to go inside and do that right now. So we're out here on our 30-minute break. Figured we'd come out in the backyard. Give the dog some exercise. Play fetch. They love playing fetch. Come here. Go.
So it's been 30 minutes, and we just came out and started to scrape away some of the paint. It's working really well on some spots. I mean, definitely going to be a little bit harder to get into the recessed areas, but I think some spots have a really thick paint. So right here, I can feel that it's really thick, as an example, like right in here. But with this piece, I'm not looking to be super perfect. I want to try to get as much as the original wood to come out, but I'm not opposed to having some of the white paint still stay on there, just to give it a little bit more of an aged look. So we're gonna get to scraping this stuff off.
Looks like Twizzlers.
Mm-hmm. Did you say like Twizzlers?
Yeah. Look how easy that stuff just comes right off.
Tell them what you're using to scrape it.
What we're using to scrape is just a regular old paint scraper. You can get these at any store. Putty knife, they call them. You get them at different sizes, so if you're trying to scrape off a big area like this, you have one that's a little wider, and then you know, a little less work it's going to take for you to clean it. And then you could have a little smaller one to get into the cracks and the crevices. And then anything else, you can just kind of get some sandpaper and use some sandpaper to scrape the rest down. But looks like it's coming off pretty good, so we'll keep going. So you can see as we're scraping this off, a lot of the spots are coming off really easy. But there's others that are left behind that's still there. And I can tell when I'm scraping this stuff that it's on there pretty heavy. So what we can do is, as we go, we'll see if we can get some off with the sandpaper. Or you might even have to do another round of the paint stripper to get that off, but it'll come off. It might just take a little bit more work, so we'll keep going here and see what we got to do. I'll work on the sides here, and again you can see a good deal of it's coming off. Still getting some rough spots, but like I said, that the stripper stuff works good even on vertical surfaces. We'll keep going. Okay, so quick update on how everything is going. This is the non-glamorous portion of stripping everything. It's just a pain in the butt and can be a little time consuming, but as you can see, it is coming along and working really well. And that was just 30 minutes of letting it sit on there. And there's still some stuff that's on there, stuff that's in the creases and things like that, but we are actually going to leave some of that on there to give it a more rustic, weathered look. So like I said, we're using the scrapers. We're also using some scrubbies, dish scrubbies, and then if you have like a soft bristled brush, that helps to get into your cracks and your crevices. And then we are also just wiping it down with a rag once we're done, but it's coming along. The top portion, as you can see, had some really heavy spots on it when it was originally painted, so I went ahead and I put a little bit more of the stripper on there, and I'll let that sit as I work on the rest of the piece. But it's coming along good. We'll come over here to the drawers, and as you can see, these drawers are actually coming out really well, and that was just one coat of it. And you can see some of the white still in there, but that's okay because that's the look we're going for. So we're not going to worry about getting every little speck off, but most of it coming off good. Here's the mirror, and you can see what we were talking about, getting in the little decorative pieces there. It works really well. Again, there's a little bit of paint still on there, some heavier spots when it was originally painted, but we'll probably get a little bit more of that off, but again, we're going to leave some of that on there. But it's coming out good. We're going to continue to work on it. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, everybody, that's a wrap on day one of our flip to convert a old dresser into a bathroom sink. So it took a little while to get everything done, but we did it. A little tired. My back hurts. But it's going to take a little bit of legwork to get this done and a little elbow grease. But so far, I'm liking the way that it's coming out. Couple tips when you're doing this. One, it's good to wear gloves when you're scraping everything off. It gets messy, and the stuff is not the greatest to have on your hands, so always good to just wear gloves. You might want to also put a drop cloth down. It does get messy. And if you don't want to worry about messing up your garage or wherever you're doing it, it's good to put a drop cloth down, or you could even do it outside in the yard if that's something that you want to do. But it came out good. We got most of it off and it's looking pretty good. We may reevaluate how things look, some of the white that's still on there, but for day one, pleased with how it came out. So I'm going to grab the camera and give it a little close-up shot so you can see what we left, the white spots, and how it came out. So here we go, take a look. once we're done, we're gonna give this a couple coats of poly. So you can see that some of this wood is dull underneath, or even some of the stripper that we used took off some of the polyurethane protectant. So once we get everything done and cut the way we want it, we shall put a couple coats of poly on it and it'll be nice and protected, especially since it's going into a bathroom. Alright, stay tuned for the next video. Bye everybody.